the very character of this nation will be focused on how we conduct ourselves on the athletic fields. And we are very honored to have great athletes here today who competed and won in class. And we're a great credit to their schools, to their families, and of course to the great state of Utah.
It's time to get started. Good evening and welcome to the 2014 Utah Sports Hall of Fame induction dinner. This year marks the 47th year since the founding of this prestigious organization, and tonight's class of 2014 brings the number of Hall of Fame inductees to 215.
We will begin our traditional parade of Hall of Fame inductees. Carrying the flag of the University of Utah is Caden Elliss, son of our first inductee. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome 2014 Utah Sports Hall of Fame inductee Luther Elliss and his army of little Ellis's entering to the music of the University of Utah fight song. Carrying the Olympic Games flag are Pikus-Pace, husband of our next inductee, and Lacey and Trayson, children of our next inductee. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome 2014 Utah Sports Hall of Fame inductee Noelle Pikus-Pace, entering to the music of the Olympic Games theme. Carrying the flag of the University of Utah is Brian Summerhays, son of our next inductee. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome 2014 Utah Sports Hall of Fame inductee Bruce Summerhays. Carrying the Olympic Games flag is Landon Tom, brother of our next inductee. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome 2014 Utah Sports Hall of Fame inductee Logan Tom, entering to the music of the Olympic Games.
We're here tonight to recognize excellence, and it's not only entertaining, it's inspiring. It motivates the rest of us to, in fact, find better ways for us to excel in our own areas of responsibility and take advantage of the opportunities that the good Lord's given us here. And I appreciate the example of our recipients here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only master of all, Frank Layden.
Can you hear me all right in the back? Good, I've been in front of more dead mics in the last month than an Irish undertaker. Now these are going to come fast. If you went to the University of Utah, I'll slow down a little bit. If you went to BYU, I'll have to mail them to you. It's, Now, I'm not going to get into it with BYU. I have great admiration. In fact, I go to Provo twice a year. to age my wine. I find if I take it there for a weekend, it ages 7 years. It's, well, anyway, being here like this, I noticed that we had our prayer, all right, and we had, where's the Reverend? The Reverend gave us a wonderful prayer. It would have been, we would have had a Mormon up here, except it was conference weekend, they're all worn out. But when we have the Reverend and followed by the Governor, I think it's time we all check our wallets. I'm only kidding. This is one of the finest governors that money can buy. It's sit down, make yourself comfortable. Now, this is your life. Luther Elliss, Colorado native, came to the University of Utah and made it his home. 3-time All-Western Athletic Conference selection and the conference's Defensive Player of the Year. He was a consensus All-American. In the NFL, enough was said. He was a great player, one of the greatest players in the Detroit Lions history.
I am truly honored to be here this evening and to be inducted into the Utah Sports Hall of Fame. And there's so many people that helped me to get here, to be at this point. I gotta be honest, first and foremost is my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Without him being in my life, I would not be the person who I am today. And so thank you. And then the person who I am today is due to my parents. My dad's not able to be here today. He passed away a few years ago. Children don't smoke. But my mom's here this evening, and I just want to tell you, Mom, thank you. Thank you for all you did for me. My mom, just so how much, I mean, I know all the parents, you would do this. We were playing, I think about, I don't know, Bayfield is about 60 miles away from our small little town. And it's basketball, and just on the record, I love basketball more than I do football. But I forgot my basketball shoes multiple times, but this particular game was a game that we had to win and those kind of things. And in high school, in a small town of 800 people, 100 kids in high school, size 16 shoes hard to come by. Not too many guys wear the size of shoe as I do. So my mom turned around, jetted home on a highway, right through the mountains, got the shoes, got them back before game time. Now, kids, don't drive fast. Don't do that. I'm sorry, as a parent now, I got to make sure I think about what I'm saying. But just the dedication she had to not only myself, but to our family, and the love she had for us, and learn the trait of just, you do whatever you can to help anyone. Whatever I have is yours. If I can be a blessing to you, I'm going to. But Mom, thank you for that. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Coach Mack, what can I say, Coach? From you chanting and writing things and throwing the trash can, lighting on fire, it's like I was not sure I was at the right school. I didn't know what we were doing at that point in time, Coach, but you're establishing a culture, Coach. You just saw the character in people. You saw things in us that we never could see. And thank you for believing in a small town little kid, you know, a little skinny guy that you thought maybe someday could play this game of football. But I gotta be honest, one of the reasons I chose Utah was because Majerus told me I could play basketball too. So he told me I could play both sports. Didn't happen, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Coach Whittingham, I gotta be honest, didn't meet Coach till later, but I met his dad. And if anybody knows Fred Whittingham, he's a scary man. He really is. He has a deep, raspy voice. He's big, and when he spoke, everybody stopped. Everybody froze. But Coach was our defensive coordinator, and they were bringing on Coach Whittingham, Coach Kyle, to come on and be our D-line coach. I gotta be honest, Coach, I was a little nervous. I loved your dad. He was nothing but respectful. He taught me so many things about the game, taught me how to watch film and those kind of things. But when they said we were bringing you on board, I was like, oh my gosh. I'm not sure if I'm going to really know what to do. But Coach, you were outstanding. You're amazing. and is a tribute to what you're doing here right now currently for our program, and just who you are, more important as a person. High man of integrity, character. Coach, thank you. Appreciate all of you being here, all my friends, and there's so many people, but just really am grateful. Thank you. God bless you guys, and thank you again.
A former track and field star from Mountain View High School and Utah Valley University, Noelle became one of the best stories of the 2014 Olympic Games. Noelle's silver medal winning performance in the women's skeleton event and the ensuing celebration with her family was voted the moment of the Games. Noelle, we are so proud of you. You are indeed a great example of what athletics and what womanhood means here in the state of Utah.
Honestly, I don't know how you could even say more than what Luther said. It's just a matter of gratitude in my heart for receiving this honor and to be able to be up here with these wonderful athletes and the example that they set. I'm not going to take the time to thank everybody individually, but it started back in, when I was at home growing up with my parents. And again, coming back to the family, just what my parents taught me. It's why I'm here today, and I'm so grateful for their love and support and allowing me to go and run and jump headfirst on a 90-mile-an-hour little tiny cookie sheet looking sled. Who does that, right? Thanks so much for all of your support, your love support over the years, and that's where it all started for me with skeleton anyway. My love for sports began before that, but my start in skeleton started when I went to Mountain View High School, and I remember one of the first times my mom drove me up to Park City, up to the track. It's an hour. I grew up in Orem, and she would drive up there, and I remember one of the first times going down on my sled, she was standing there in one of, on the outside of one of the curves, and she had her camera ready to get a picture of me going down the track, and she stood there waiting and waiting, and she started getting really nervous because she heard him say, "Noelle, Pikus," my name's Noelle Pikus at the time, "Noelle Pikus, the track is clear." And she waited and waited and waited, and she started getting really, really nervous, and she came running up the hill, and I was already at the finish line, and she said, "Where did you made it down? I thought you crashed." I'm like, "I already went down the track." She's like, "I didn't even see you. You went so fast." She completely missed it, but I could see this panicked look on her face. So thank you, Mom, for allowing me to do this crazy sport. And Dad, thank you so much for being in the backyard and teaching me the importance of dedication and commitment with softball, pitch after pitch after pitch after pitch. And I could not eat dinner until I had 10 strikes. So many hungry nights. I just want to finally conclude by saying thank you for my friends and neighbors over the years for all being here. Thank you so much. And last but absolutely not least, to my siblings from both sides of the family. We're siblings. And for my husband, for Jansen, and my 2 kids. And you can hear my voice, but the sacrifice that my husband had to go through to allow me to get to this point. I could have never done it on my own, ever. I mean, if I ever had to choose between sports and my family, it was always going to be my family. It wasn't even an option. But I'm so grateful for him for sticking by me day after day and year after year through the ups and the downs. And for my 2 wonderful children for their sacrifice and being away from their friends as we traveled the world for the past 2 years trying to make this Olympic dream come true. And it really has been, it's been absolutely incredible. Not just that moment that was seen on TV, but all these moments before and after. So yeah, I'm just very grateful to be able to stand up here and receive this award. And I'm so grateful for the committee and all of your time and preparation. Joel Gardner, thank you so much for all that you did to help
He built a successful career as a PGA golf professional, yet not even Bruce himself could have known what life after 50 would bring. With his wife, Carolyn, many of his 8 children acting as his caddies at various times, Bruce turned the experience into a successful, meaningful family venture that has led him to induction of the Utah Sports Hall of Fame.
This is a wonderful honor for me. I am just so privileged to be here. Like Luther and Noelle, it's a family adventure for me, and always will be, and has been. It was so wonderful to be out on the Champions Tour and have all of your children caddy for you. 4 girls and 4 boys. It was amazing. Can you imagine, though, the planning as a player you've got to do for 8 different caddies? You've got to be a good caddy in yourself, because when my daughter Carrie would come in, I knew I had better be playing pretty good. Because if I was not, it was, Dad, come on, let's get going. You know, and she'd kick me right in the rear end. Literally do that. And then some of the other ones would back off and be calm and patient, you know, and not want to say a thing to me. But it was a wonderful experience, a family experience, and that was the design from the whole time. My sweet brother Lynn, there were 2 brothers, my brother Gary and my brother Lynn. In the beginning, he was my manager, and we set a pattern to qualify for the senior tour. And it took a 3-year period before we even could try to qualify to get there. And he was so instrumental in setting that pattern to get to the end of just qualifying for the senior tour. But it was the TPS Tampa Bay, and Lynn had decided to caddy for me at that time. And I'll never forget, we came down to the 15th hole, and it was the hardest hole on the golf course. And I had to hit a 4-iron into the green. This is the last day. Water down the left side right up against the green, not in front, but I hit a 4-iron that I couldn't hit. I mean, I can't hit it that way. And I looked at Lynn, and I mean, it went up there about 15, 20 feet. And I looked at Lynn and I said, I cannot hit the ball that good. That's, you know, I don't hit shots like that. And that's the type of experience it was. And when we got to the last green, I lagged my putt up there about 1.5 feet from the hole, but I couldn't tap it in because somebody was in my way. I would step in somebody's line. And of course, Lynn and I looked at each other, and we knew at that time that I had qualified. It was obvious that I would be qualifying there. And tears just flooded. They just came. So really, I had to make the putt blind. You know, and I did. You know, I couldn't see, but I did make the putt. And then it just proceeded on for a 16-year period on the Champions Tour. And I've said this many, many times about that experience when asked by the media, who I love the media, by the way. The media is just fantastic. They do such a great job, as long as you keep them where they need to be, right on top. You keep them up there, and then they'll say good things about you. But this is my comment about the experience on the Champions Tour, is I don't dream that good. It was so good that it's hard to dream that good. It's such a blessing. and an honor to be in this position and to be recognized for excellence. But of all the tournaments I've ever won, the one that is the best win I have ever had is with my son Joseph. We played together in the Champions Challenge, a Johnny Miller thing down in the South, down there, down at Thanksgiving Point. And we beat the Nicholas and his son and all of those wonderful players. But playing with my son, Joseph, and winning the golf tournament over all of those is by far and away the top win of my life. Thank you for your support.
Next, we have one of the great volleyball players in the world, Logan Tom, a graduate of Highland High School. She went on to a highly successful career at Stanford University, becoming a 4-time All-American, and in 2001 a national championship, earning MVP honors in the NCAA Final Four. Internationally, she became the youngest member of the U.S. Olympic team in 2000, competing in Sydney. Logan also for the U.S. team in Athens, and when the 2008 games in Beijing arrived, she was becoming a major force for a team that was rising in the world rankings. Her expressive, fist-pumping style on the court and her smiles and tears for interviews made her the face of the U.S. team.
Wow. It's really cool being up here. It also sucks going last, especially with this group of 3 amazing people. I would never go down any kind of hill at 90 miles an hour on a cookie board snow sheet. Volleyball doesn't pay that much, and there's no way in hell I'd ever have 12 kids. I'm sorry, congratulations. It's amazing. Mr. Layden here blew the door wide open for me, so I'm going to speak freely. When I first, it's more natural for me. No, it was funny. When I first found out I was being honored here, I had multiple people tell me I should probably write a speech, more than the usual amount, and I was assuming it was for my colorful vocabulary. But it's how I am. I usually do things how I feel and what comes to me at the moment, and it served me well so far in my life and on the court, so I'm going to stick to it. On that point, when I was thinking about what I was going to say up here, because I actually did think about it, there are 2 main points that came to mind that pertain specifically to this night. One was, and you may agree, you may not, one was it's not where you're born or where you grew up that makes a place your home. Same as believe is that just because you're blood, it doesn't make you family necessarily, and because you play on a team, it doesn't automatically make you friends. And this is especially special for me being in Utah tonight because throughout the years, through my 20s and now I'm 33, it's my choice to call Utah my home. And it hasn't been that way for a little bit because I've been traveling a lot and been uprooted. So I never really had a home. My home was always where actually you're gonna make me cry. It's where my family is. My family, my blood family that's here, which is my mother and my brother, and also my family that started as my friends that became my family. So that was the first thing. The second thing was, in my mind, it's strange for me because growing up here, I come back here probably once or twice a summer to see people and just to reconnect a little bit. And I always go past Highland and go past our old house, which is much more kept up than how we had it when we were living there. Yeah, I didn't recognize it when I passed it. I had to back up. And I was thinking, who are the people that I want to have here? Who do I want? Because there's been you meet a lot of people throughout your career and your travels. And in my head, I came to this conclusion. I'm like, you know what? My past, I never believe that past defines a person. I always believe they always have an open road, and there's always hope on the other side when they have mistakes, or they made mistakes. It never closes to them if they choose. It's always a choice. But I do believe your past helps shape you to the person you're going to be. And when I say that, everyone here last night has shaped me in some way. And I would never be here without them. Whether it's just a fleeting moment with someone or someone that stayed in my life from when I started my career or from when I was born, like my mother. I am that person because of you guys, each and every one of you. So I'd like to start my thanks with that. That was my cue in my head to start thank yous. Obviously, my mother and my brother are here tonight. They flew from California, which is amazing for me. They haven't been to Utah in years, so it's nice to see everyone together. So I love you guys, even though we fight a lot. It's just how our family is. We sort of love with fights and some wine, but it's just how we grew up. And then of course my three best friends from high school, Ashley, Tamisha, and Carrie. We definitely have each had our own roads in the past, but we're here tonight together, and that's what matters. So, and their families too. Now I'm going to cry, because it's just what I do, it seems like, when I give speeches. I'm going to end this. I want to thank you guys too. I was very touched and honored to be nominated for this award, and just honestly because like I said, I'm out of the country a lot, so even though I'm not here, you kind of miss that connection. So for me, it means a lot to me. I want to say thank you, and I'm so honored to be here with you guys. It's hearing about your beautiful families and your amazing careers, and even more just the people you are. It's truly humbling, so thank you guys.
Credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, a man who knows the great enthusiasms and the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who in the end will know the triumph of high achievement. And yet if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who'll never know neither victory nor defeat.